right, so let's just start out with this 2017 season, of course, you know. So how's it going with this team? Obviously, we don't hear a lot about teams like this, but you're working hard back here.
No, I mean, obviously we always want to run better. That's kind of the goal. But we've done a good job of finishing races. We finished every race. Mm-hmm. We're in the points chase right now. We're in the spot we need to be. So really, it's just about continuing to get a little better, doing our job, making sure we do the best we can with what we have, mm-hmm. and then just trying to get better throughout the year. So that's kind of been the game plan into it, and we've executed pretty well. Obviously, there's things we have to improve on, like everyone, but we're still pretty, hopeful and optimistic about it. So
So about 10 or 12 races into the season, what do you feel like you have to improve on?
Just getting our cars where they have just a little more speed, a little more handling. This package is from last year to this year has changed. Mm-hmm. Really, kind of every track for us, we've had to go and do our homework and kind of reset. We just got to get that. We've lost so much aero just from the overall. Everyone's done it, but we just have to improve and make sure to get our cars a little bit better. So that's kind of where we're working.
How tough is that? Because obviously, where you want to improve, I want to improve in speed. Now that's what everybody says, but it's not very specific.
It's not easy. No, that's definitely the point. There's a lot of hard work, a lot of hours in the shop, and and us being a smaller team, it makes it even harder. We don't have all the resources that the top guys have, but we do a lot with what we got, and we have been getting some help from having Gibbs engines. That's helped us a lot. We have good horsepower, so really it's just about getting our chassis where we think we need them. It's hard to, we are limited, so it's hard for us to just go right in and just start cutting things up and changing everything around. We have to be at the track every week, so we have to make sure we do the best we can and take care of our stuff. So it does make it tough.
Yeah, I bet. And you talked about the Gibbs engines. We definitely talk about the Cup teams that are in Xfinity and how much tougher it can make it on the smaller teams, but you get a little bit of both there. So what's your experience like?
Yeah, I think it's what I can tell from it. Obviously with the Cup drivers it makes it tougher, but those cars they run, they're going to run every week, and even with younger other drivers, they still run well. Obviously other drivers want to be in them because it makes them look good, and they have a shot to run really well. So really, we got to beat those cars no matter what. That's more of our deals. We got to beat the organizations. We got to beat those teams, and that's kind of what we're competing against. So, even with the Cup drivers, everyone talks about them. We'll come in and win, and they are good, but they're in good stuff. So it makes us better, and it gives us a kind of a marker to shoot for as well.
You were in good stuff for one race last year at Iowa. You got a top 5 finish. So looking back, it's been almost a year now. When you look back on that, what are the feelings like? It was such a great opportunity.
It was good. Obviously there was a lot of emotions. Just trying to get in that car and just trying to relate to what I drive. And really, there's not that much difference. It's just that's how close this sport is. It's just little things here and there to make some of those cars just run a little better, longer, have a little more speed right off the bat, right off the trailer. And so, I learned a lot from it. Obviously, it was really cool. We got to do that, and I think it helped us, me a little bit, I guess, just confidence, just knowing the way we can do it. But just trying to get our cars to that position is tough. I think it's hard for even Cup guys to come down and be like, this is what you need to do. It just really doesn't work like that. It's just kind of like it's kind of just a organizational thing of like we got to do everything a little different and we have to change here and there. So, but it was still awesome. It was really cool to do. So,
that was going to be my next question on the differences between the cars. I guess driving, it feels very similar, but is the mindset different? Is anything different between?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, when I got in the 18, it was I got to run good. You got to run good. So, and not that I have that same mindset that I want to run good. I'm going to do the best I can, but it's just a little different. When we have good weeks, we want to capitalize on what we can. We can't waste them. That's the thing. Like I feel like we're good on our short track programs really well. So when I get to those tracks, I don't want to waste them here. I want to make sure I can get everything I can. Even the super speedway is just trying to survive, make sure we're getting every point we can to survive. That's kind of been our goal and what we've done pretty well at. So that's kind of what we're aiming to do.
How tough is this series? Because everybody's trying to make a name for themselves, and you're one of them.
Yeah, for sure. And I would say this series is the toughest it's been in a long time. Ever since I've been in it, there's just, you see a lot of other series like the trucks seem like they're struggling a little bit here and there, and competition's fading in and out. But this one is really strong. Like for whatever reason, a lot of people have just gotten into this sport and got into Xfinity, and I think it's from first to 30th. There's a lot better cars and a lot closer than what it has been. Charlotte was a good example of. I mean, there was just a lot of good cars, and I think you're going to see more and more of that. These cars are closer to the Cup now with the packages, so it's more beneficial for Cup drivers to step down. Obviously they are limited on races, but they're going to fill those 11 races when they can, and so that's kind of what you're seeing. So it's good for the sport. I mean, it's good to have good competition for sure.
And you've made the progression from ARCA, the trucks, now to Xfinity. Maybe not grade yourself, but look back on your career and how far you've come. You have so much more experience than most guys in the Xfinity series. So looking back, what goes through your mind? What do you think?
I've had a lot of good experiences. Obviously, I would like to have been, a little better, I guess, in a lot of things. But I feel like the stuff I've been in and the opportunities I had, I made the most of them. Obviously, I've learned a lot. I feel like I've improved a lot as a driver, on what a car needs and what I need to do. So, I think ARCA helped a lot of that. Just, we had good races in there, and so that was a lot of fun. And even truck races, there was times where I had really good races. And I wasn't in trucks as long as I've been in Xfinity, but Xfinity's been tough. It's a tough sport, and I feel like where we're at, we're doing the best we can, and really, I think it's impressive that we take a small team and we've moved up, and I think we're going in the right direction to be a bigger team. So I think a lot of people have a lot of pride about that. So that's been pretty cool to see happen.
Yeah. So obviously, you're trying to build this team to become a larger team. Do you see a long-term future with this team and yourself?
A lot of it's sponsor dependent.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing. So I'd like to say yes. Right off the bat, and I see this. I don't see JGL going away. I mean, they're making the right moves to expand, and we're building more buildings. This year we're going to run the 24 team all year, different drivers, but still that's a good improvement. People are wanting to come here and wanting to race. So, and I think that's just says a lot of where this team's escalated and came to. So that's pretty cool to be a part of for sure.
Yeah. So you'll be 26, I believe, this July. Yeah. So. Everyone's talking, not old, but everyone's talking about these young drivers, and they're 18, 19. They make me feel old. So when you look at that, do you feel like you've paid your dues in this series? That you're worth a little something more now?
Yeah, I guess so. I was one of those 18-year-old, 20-year-olds at first, and it went fast. So I mean, this is a weird sport to be 26 and be like, I'm getting up there. I'm almost a veteran. So it is weird to think that, but. Yeah, I feel like I've been around a lot, and I know most of these tracks by now. I've been on them multiple times, so I guess I consider myself a veteran of the sport now. So not as much as a lot of them, but still, it does make you feel old when they get a lot of these newer guys in here. So for sure.
Are you ready for the Cup Series?
I think if it was the right opportunity, yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't think they're really. I think the competition is tougher in the Cup, but that's just because I think all the teams are closer. So I think if it's the right opportunity, I think I'm ready. So it's just making sure. I feel like I've stepped up almost too fast in a lot of other things. Just wanting to be out there, put your name out there. And now I'm at the point where there's no point to go to Cup unless I'm going to get something I feel is going to be good. Because if it's a car that's not going to run that well, there's really no point. Because I'm not going to be able to carry it, so I need to be able to get in something that's good and kind of showcase that I can do it, and that's kind of what I've been waiting on. So if the right opportunity shows up, I'll take it. But if not, I'm excited that I've got to be in Xfinity this long. So that's been a pretty cool deal.
Has Cup Series been on your radar? Is that something that you've tried, or is that just something that people bring up?
I mean, growing up, that's the goal. It's always been the main goal to be a Cup racer, to be a NASCAR, but. As I've kind of went along and went through the trucks, went to the Xfinity, I've just seen how, it's okay now to take your time. There used to be a time where if you weren't 19 or 20 and already in Cup, it was like, you weren't going to make it. But I think you see a lot of organizations now they don't care if they want experience. They'll take, the time to build people up. So, obviously there's exceptions. You have Chase Elliott and Eric Jones who just go right there or right up front doing it. But I think you can still wait a little bit longer and and get into and be okay.
Yeah, I mean Ryan Sieg, Ross Chastain, Bubba Wallace, 1 week and we got 3 of them now.
Yeah.
And they got quite a bit of experience too. So when you see fellow drivers like that who you've raced with for a long time, they're moving up the Cup one way or another. So what do you think about when you see something like that? Does it give you a little more, oh man, I gotta hurry up, or is it just there?
No, I think it's just like, I think it's good. It's like, I think Ross had a really good race.
Yeah.
And so, it's a deal where it's like, I feel like I can do that as well. So it's not like I'm not in a hurry. Like I said, I want it to be the right opportunity and the right thing. There's been opportunities to do it, and I just haven't felt like I don't feel like it's been right. I mean, it's just, I would rather stay in Xfinity and be more on the competitive side and trying to make it into the chase than running 35th in the Cup. It's just not. That's not exciting for really anybody. I mean, obviously people are going to do it, but it's just not my deal. So I'd rather be running towards the top 20s and something like that. So
you've had Cup opportunities before, and you've taken them down so you can learn. Yeah, you don't see a whole lot of drivers do that. How tough was that?
I think it happens more than you think. I think there's a lot of guys that you want to have that experience, and obviously if you have the sponsorship to go to the higher teams, that's a different story. I think everyone jumps on that and takes that. But take teams that are running a little bit every once in a while. It's like if you have nothing else, it's great. But I've had opportunities to stay in Xfinity. People wanted me here, and so I've been blessed to be able to come back to this part of it and run and keep learning and just keep fresh. And the sport's always changing. I mean, just this year with the package has been a big learning curve. So it's been good to learn it. And I think this now kind of goes into the Cup level. These cars feel more similar, so it's a good learning on that.
Right. Do you think it builds your character, having to wait, having to learn patience? You're not an Eric Jones who's already in there and he's a teenager. You've been around for so much longer and you're having to wait. Does that build character, and how important is that?
I just don't really think about it anymore, honestly. It's just I'm racing what I can race now, and I'm happy to be doing it. So obviously I'd like to be a Cup and doing it, but I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to just do it just because I can. I want to make sure it's the right deal and learn all I can here. So I guess it has on that. So it's built me just to be patient and to learn and wait to make sure it's the right thing. Or I think when I first got into sport, if I was 20, I definitely would be in anything I could. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of drivers who be like, I'd get in anything I could, but once you get here, you're like, I want to make sure it's the right opportunity. And once you learn, because it's hard to come back when you get in something and don't run well. It's hard to get those second and third opportunities. So you want to go out there and showcase what you can do.
And finally, expectations for this season. Obviously, hopes and goals, those are a little bit different.
Yeah. Expectations, I mean, being that we're in the chase spot, I think making the chase is a realistic expectation. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. We have to continue to improve, and we have to keep, finishing races and doing all that. So it's going to be hard to say what else, but I would like to run more top 10s. I think it's kind of like a realistic goal that we can get to. We just we haven't been there enough. So and the competition's been tougher this year. It's been harder for us. So we're better, and the results don't show it all the time. So that's the thing, and that's why we just got to get a little better on that. So,
I don't think I asked you about finishing every single race this season. You're the only driver to do that.
Yeah,
that's pretty remarkable. So how important is that? Have you noticed that?
I think I pride myself, and that's what I've been good at growing up. Is taking care of equipment and finishing races. So it's put us in our spot where we are now, I feel like. So that's been a good part of it. So we got to continue that. Obviously, it's really hard to have a whole season without trouble. So that's why we have to kind of put, we call points in the bank, but we got to kind of get a buffer there, because if we have a really bad race, it's going to be hard for us to gain those points back. And there are really good teams behind us that, if they stop having bad luck, they're running better than us consistently, and they could pass us. So we have to do everything we can to stay in front of them, and just every position matters for us right now. We're points racing to the max right now. We'll do whatever we can for an extra point. So a lot of teams aren't thinking about it probably as much. But for us, it's important as a small team to make that chase. It's a lot lot bigger for us. So
are you a fan of the playoffs? Because it seems to give you that extra opportunity.
Well, it does. It actually, I think, if we finished 12th in points in a season where there wasn't playoff, no one would really say anything. But being that there is that chase, there's more exposure. It's like it makes it more pristine to make it. There's a bigger deal about it, so it definitely helps. People down there in points, fight for it. And there's always a reason to fight for it, not just the winner. Obviously, everyone wants to do that.
Yeah.
But then it gives you that opportunity that, if you're in 8th place, 9th, you have good races through those 7 playoff races, you have a chance to win it. So it is pretty cool. It's different, but it is awesome.
Yeah. How cool was Blake Cook last year?
Yeah.
He's just one of those underdog drivers. He got a great team together, and he made it almost all the way to the end.
And that's kind of the goal. That's what we're at. We're trying to do the same deal of being the underdog team that makes it. So that's what it's all about. That's what makes the playoffs cool for us.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Yeah,
awesome.
definitely appreciate your time.
Hey, no
best
problem.
luck
Thank
this
you.
weekend.
Hey, thank you.
Great stuff. Thank you.